So, Jonathan, you have spent your whole career in medicine, as I mentioned earlier. Got out of school and did a number of things. Including practicing, being at the university level as a professor, so on and so forth. I mentioned your time with Anthem. What had you say in you know when you started the first company in 2009? You know what? I want to start a company. I'm.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Again, for my career at least, um, it was never like wake up one morning with an epiphany.
Mm,
It was always, one door opens
mm,
another, and it's people kind of feel like, oh, when you do something different or change or pivot, that one day, some cold water's thrown you in your face, and you just say, oh my gosh, I have to
right.
do this. And as opposed to, it's almost like watching grass grow, right? I mean, you're sitting on the lawn. Next thing you know, a few days later, the grass is a little
Hmm.
taller. It was really much more like that. It was, I did one administrative thing, which led to another administrative thing, which led,
Hmm.
and I don't, and I wish I could say it was like
Hmm.
totally intentional
Hmm.
and I plotted every course. I was all methodical, but I think the only consistency is I always was open to another opportunity. Just when I tried something, if it worked, then keep moving in that direction. If it didn't, pivot. I kissed a lot of frogs, as it were. If you understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying with that, and then when you kiss a lot of frogs, occasionally you find something and you're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
something that would be interesting. And it was more
Yeah.
an evolution than a
Hmm.
waking up one morning.
And you bootstrapped, yeah?
Bootstrapped 100%, which was interesting because at a certain point I was doing both jobs. I was doing
Yeah.
clinical and this, and then slowly weaning myself because I didn't want the companies to go in
Hmm.
debt or get investors or what have you. So we bootstrapped it from the
Hmm.
beginning.
Has there been any thought along the road of taking investors? I mean, investment to, grow
Uh,
more quickly or, whatever that might be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think E7 Health is ready, honestly, to get injection of
Hmm.
capital to take it regionally, nationally.
Hmm.
I think. I mean, what's holding me back is one, we're continuously improving it
Hmm.
and making it easy to be scalable, and part of it is also, I think, my limitations because I don't really have the uh, bandwidth or maybe even
Mm.
the skill set to go to market and do a dog and pony show. And it's I guess I'm if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen
Mhm.
organically as
Mm.
opposed to intentionally.
That's interesting. Um, what would you say along the way have been the mistakes you've made as a leader?
I think the biggest mistake you make when you first become a leader is thinking that leadership is a soft skill, and like, oh, I could be a CEO because people like
Yeah,
me,
right.
or
Not.
I can run a company because I'm good
Yeah,
with people, or
yeah.
that's not going to cut
Mhm.
it. It's a technical skills. They're technical skills you need to
Mhm.
acquire. How to talk to people, how to enroll people in your
Mhm.
vision, how to motivate people, how to give feedback, how to calibrate your
Right.
response depending on who you're talking to. You can't say the same words to
No, you can't.
four different people.
Communication's important.
No, you right. And so again, I think the biggest mistake, which I'm probably guilty of, is thinking, being a CEO is a soft
Yeah.
skill. And as a matter of fact, I'm launching my podcast. Funny you should say it. We're launching my second year of Bakhtari MD in the next month, and I've already put some episodes in the can. And we're actually going to call the second season a Crash CEO School because it actually answers the question you just asked. Like, what are the mistakes
Mhm.
you don't want to make? And what are the things you need to own? What are the things you need to understand? Everything from, how important is your website SEO? What is SEO? What is, what do you need to do if you want to be online? Did you pick the right
Mhm.
business? Are you in a blue ocean? Are you in a red
Mhm.
ocean? Understanding all that. I just thought if I just dedicate a whole season
Love
to
it.
it, so I can kind of go over all my mistakes, which there are so many, and see if I can help
That's
others.
fantastic. I love that. So, what's the competitive nature of your business? I mean, is there anybody else, you talked a little bit about it. Well, this person,
Yeah.
they do a little bit, they do a little bit, they do a little bit, but is there anybody? Yeah.
Yeah. What makes E7 interesting is I hate this, everyone thinks this is about their own business, but we have no natural
Mhm.
competitors. We really don't. And, there's a reason I have, I think we have over 1,000 reviews on Google, pretty much 5.0 on
Mm,
Google. I have 10,000 reviews on our website from which we got from a third party called Listen 360, where they sent
right.
surveyed our, and you don't get 10,000. I don't know of any other healthcare company that has
Mhm.
10,000 reviews on their website, and literally 5.0
Yeah.
of Google reviews. And I think that ties into what you were saying, which is people can't even believe we
Yeah.
exist. So it's not like, oh, you're better than that last guy, or and
Yeah.
often when we get a corporate client, they, for the most part, they're client for lives. One, because my staff is amazing. Two, our technology is amazing. But three, we don't. There's nowhere else to
Yeah.
go. Once you find us, it's not
Mhm.
like, okay, this your competitors
Yeah.
giving it to us for a couple of shekels less, so we're moving on.
Yeah. So that leads me into, how are people finding you?
Well, I mean, so locally, we have a pretty aggressive digital marketing campaign. Whether it's Google Ads,
Mhm.
blogs, we post on all social media. We're involved in some community stuff. So, and then nationally, same thing. We really take advantage of digital marketing,
Mm.
and we have a strong digital presence. So that's really been, and also once people start to work with us, this uh, the word of
Yeah.
mouth factor is also, after many years, comes into play.
What are some of the digital strategies you've used for the national for people to find out about you nationally?
Again, so we've used like Google Ads,
Mhm.
and then we're we're present in many conferences. We go to many
Mm,
conferences where we hobnob with people in the
yeah.
industry, and people who could use our services. We're we have a
Right.
podcast. We obviously post on social media. We have a dedicated in-house social
Mhm.
media and digital marketing team.
Great.
And of course, I've done lots of interviews. I've been, if you go to Bachelor MD, I've been, on the Washington Post, USA Today, Barron's,
Mhm.
Forbes. So I think, all of that has been an effort to get our brand out there and nationwide.
Mhm. That's fantastic. So, do you have an ideal client?
Well, it depends for which company, but for E7, our ideal client are people who really want to outsource their employee health department or student health
Mhm.
department. We have defense firms. We have Fortune 500 companies who are our
Mhm.
clients. We have local utilities here that are our clients. So, uh, but E7 is limited by the brick and mortar we have. So as we grow that regionally, we're gonna attract different clients.
Mhm.
And then the U.S. Drug Test Centers, we have over 6,000 clients nationwide, practically in every city and every
Mhm.
state in the United
Mhm.
States. So, and that continues to
Mhm.
grow at a pretty rapid rate. So, very proud of that.
Carol Schultz here. Thanks for watching this excerpt from Authentically Successful. The conversation doesn't end there. So if you want to hear this episode in full and all my conversations with many other successful founders and CEOs, please visit verticalelevation.com/podcast.